Hello, and welcome to Movies with the Plaid Guy. Today we're going to be discussing why my computer keeps buzzing at me. Anyway, trying to do sort of a movie talk thing like everybody else does, but unlike the other movie reviews, I'm also going to take time to talk about certain topics or issues. Kind of like what Nostalgia Critic did, where every other week it's a review, and every other week it's, an opinion or a topic that needs to be discussed. I kind of want to do the same format, just from my point of view. So, today's day, we're going to do an opinion. We are going to do an opinion about Woody Allen. Oh, the other thing too is this is going to be free form. I have a posting thing. I have nothing written down, so it's gonna come as it is. So I might do a script in the future. So this is just gonna be a free form for the first one. So Woody Allen, love him or hate him, he's an influential filmmaker. I love him. I hate him as a person. I do not want to be in the same room with him. I know it was years ago, the whole issue of Sunni and everything. I'm not endorsing anybody, I just really like Coke. But, however, it's still disgusting and it's offensive. It's offensive that he thought he could get away with this and he thought that it was cool. Now, as far as the other allegations, like I know Dylan Farrow and Roman Farrow, I believe the name is, that's up in the air. We're just that's another subject. We're talking about strictly the whole Sunni aspect of it's kind of creepy. You married your adopted daughter when you're 50 and she's 15. On the other hand, he actually is really a good filmmaker. I saw Annie Hall in 2008. Sorry guys. Saw Annie Hall in 2008 when I got it on DVD. There was a whole period of my life where I hated everything. I did not want to have friends. I didn't have that many friends, let me repeat that. And I bought a lot of stuff just to make myself feel happy. That's a whole topic for another time. But one of the films I bought was Annie Hall. I loved this movie. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the funniest. Basically, Woody Allen's character, which he plays with himself in a lot of movies, but his character is lusting after Diane Keaton's character, the title Annie Hall. Originally, it was built to be a murder mystery, which he bailed into another movie. However, he liked a love story, so he billed that as its own independent movie, and he hated it. He shot the entire thing. A lot of it's out of order. You have to watch the movie to understand. But he hated it, which is why the movie is chopped up the way it is. Sometimes it's in the past, sometimes it's in the future. But it's great because it works like a jazz score that way. There's not really a beginning, middle, and end. It's just kind of all over the place, and it's interesting no matter what. Now, I love this movie. It has one of my favorite monologues about dating relationships. At the very end of the movie when Annie rejects him and he flew all the way to Los Angeles to see her from New York, and he's an East Coast kind of guy, and she rejects him. There's a final monologue that's dubbed over it that's really good. And that talks about how there's the old joke of the guy goes to the psychiatrist, he goes, help me, my brother thinks he's a chicken. The psychiatrist says, have you ever thought about talking to your brother about that? And he goes, well, I don't want to miss the eggs. That's kind of how relationships are. If you're too young to understand that, turn this off because I want to talk to you. But that was brilliant, and that was what I needed in my life. Did I keep buying stuff to try to make myself feel happy? Oh yeah, yeah. Did it help me in that period? Because by that time, it was 2008, I had broken up with my third girlfriend. There was a whole drama about that. And I just needed something to reaffirm me, to say, hey, life's tough, you gotta get tougher. And I loved a lot of aspects of the movie. I love the old version of New York City. I love the jazz score. I love every bit of it. I love how it was all over the place. I love the jokes that are in there that are great. I mean, Woody Allen's a great filmmaker. Annie Hall, to me, is his masterpiece. Now, in the wake of Harvey Weinstein, we're now jumping ahead to 2018. In the wake of Harvey Weinstein, in the wake of Hollywood having this revelation, not really so much of a revelation, but sort of this Ragnarok of all these sexual allegations coming out about all these different producers and directors and actors who are misusing their power. Do we still accept Woody Allen as director? He's made a lot of films since then, and last night, me and my roommate watched... He wasn't in it, but it was one of the more recent ones. It took place in Paris. Oh, Midnight in Paris. Great movie. Wonderful movie. Like, if you're anything artistic or intellectual, like, it's a great film. But it also brings up the point of, why do people still keep working with him, and why do we as an audience still buy tickets to his movies? Because he's still a disgusting human being. That hasn't changed. And I don't care about all the other stuff that's happened. Like, he's still disgusting. But his movies are good. And, like, everybody's psyche. Like, I could watch his movies all day. When I got my first Netflix account, one of the first movies I watched was A Midsummer Night's Dream that was shot in, I think, the 80s. And it was shot in the 80s, but it took place in, I think, the 20s. It's really good. Go pick it up. But that's the thing is, why do we still accept it? I think we as an audience are a little bit to blame for accepting these kind of behaviors. We still buy tickets to his movies. The Academy still gives Woody Allen awards. They still nominate him for things. So we are accepting of this person and their behavior. In the wake of what's been going on, it's a little weird that the Academy still accepts that. Why is that? Those are a lot of questions that can deviate and go off into separate points. I think a lot of it has to deal with the fact that most of the Academy members are old white men. Now, what can we change? First of all, Woody Allen can admit that yes, he did all these things. However, I don't think anything is going to change. I think that people still give him money to make these movies, and people still want to work with him because he is a pretty good filmmaker. As far as does he still look at child porn? Don't know. That's his own thing. It's just very odd that Harvey Weinstein gets blacklisted from Hollywood, and we still tolerate Woody Allen. And he's done horrible things 20 years ago. And, like, it's the same thing with Roman Polanski. Like, Roman Polanski's a great filmmaker. And I watched one of his movies all the way through. Working on that. Now, why do we accept brilliance over ethics as a society? I mean, why? I mean, if somebody had the cure for cancer, but they also were a pedophile, that wouldn't change anything. That wouldn't change the fact that they have the cure for cancer. Would we judge that person as a society? Yes. Oh, yes. Would that change the cure for cancer? No. So be the cure for cancer. Would they be worthy to accept, like, a Nobel Prize? The Nobel Prize committee is also weird, but that's another story for another time. But it's just very odd to me as a society that we will, and this is just my perspective as a straight white male, you can correct my ignorance, Please don't leave me any racist comments. Let's have a civil discussion, please. I know we can. But why is it that we accept certain people while we don't accept others? Why is it that Harvey Weinstein can no longer produce let's stop talking about Harvey Weinstein. Let's talk about Kevin Spacey. Let's talk about the fact that Kevin Spacey, I swear I'm not going to drink soda the next time I need to film for this. But let's talk about the fact that Kevin Spacey was caught. He admitted he did it. Then said, oh, by the way, I'm bisexual. So everything is fine and fixed. And nope. They fired him out of the latest Ridley Scott movie. They reshot all of the scenes. He's been pretty much Stalinized. Joseph Stalin during the Cold War, where if you pissed him off, you just mysteriously disappeared. You were even cut out of photographs. Like, it's creepy, for those of you who don't know. And why is it that Woody Allen is still allowed to make movies? But Kevin Spacey was completely cut out. One explanation I just thought about could have been, Woody Allen doesn't make movies anymore in the US. Match Point was in London, Midnight in Paris was obviously in Paris, From Rome with Love was obviously in Rome. He doesn't really make a lot of movies in the US anymore. I think that's one factor. I also think that that's a great sin because he shoots, especially New York City, which is one of the finest cities in the world. He doesn't shoot in New York anymore, and it's like, that was his hometown, that's where he grew up in, and we don't see those anymore. He shoots in Europe. But I feel like he's following the Roman Polanski model of don't shoot movies in the US, shoot them in Europe, where I don't know if it's they care more about the artistic side or they just don't know of the stuff he's done, and that's why he goes there. But I don't know. It's one of those weird things where I love him, but I hate him. When I watch his movies, yeah. When I invite him over to dinner, nope. He can stay out in the cold for all I care. But that's just my opinion. Leave a comment. Please let's have a civil discussion. And this is that Plaid guy saying bye-bye for now.